In a world where truths unfold in the most unexpected places, the discovery of the Ark in Antarctica shakes the foundations of history and faith alike. But what happens next? What ancient powers or forgotten truths does the Ark still hold? Join us as we delve deeper into this riveting discovery that shocks and awes the global community. The unexpected exploration of the biblical Ark. For centuries, a mysterious old chest has fascinated people. This valuable wooden chest, covered in gold, suddenly disappeared, leaving historians and scholars puzzled for a long time. But recently, something surprising happened. Researchers in Antarctica made a shocking discovery. They found the ancient Ark hidden in a remote spot. Now, the big questions are how the Ark ended up in Antarctica and who will take responsibility for it now that it has been found. In another story, the leader of the Israelites, Joshua, had a daring plan. He believed the Ark represented the power of God, so he told his people to carry it with them. For 6 days, Joshua and the Israelites marched around the walls of Jericho, carrying the Ark in silence. On the 7th day, they walked around the walls 7 times. Then, Joshua told them to shout as loud as they could. When they did, the walls of Jericho collapsed, allowing the Israelites to enter the city and defeat their enemies. This victory was seen as proof of the Ark's power and God's protection over the Israelites. But the Ark didn't remain in the spotlight forever. It disappeared around 587 BC, and many have tried to find it without success, until now. The recent discovery by scientists in Antarctica has grabbed attention worldwide. Alongside the Ark, they found a copper scroll that detailed how and why the Ark ended up in such an unlikely place. This discovery has thrilled many, especially those who understand the Ark's importance as a religious artifact. It not only sheds light on the Ark's mysterious past but also offers new insights into its historical and spiritual significance. The Ark of the Covenant has always captured our imagination with its incredible stories, and this recent finding adds a new and exciting chapter to its tale. But with this discovery, even more questions arise, leaving us wondering what other secrets the Ark might still be hiding. In the story of Exodus, God told Moses to build a special chest called the Ark of the Covenant. This chest was meant to hold the stone tablets with the 10 commandments that God would give Moses. The top of the Ark was decorated with 2 golden angel-like figures called cherubs, whose wings stretched out towards each other. This was the place where God would speak to Moses, giving him instructions for the people of Israel. The Ark was a symbol of God's presence among his chosen people, as described in the Old Testament. The top of the Ark, where the cherubs were, was called the mercy seat. Once a year, a priest would enter a sacred room and sprinkle the blood of a sacrificed animal on the mercy seat to ask for forgiveness for the nation's sins. This ritual, known as the Day of Atonement, ended with the coming of Jesus Christ, whose sacrifice on the cross made forgiveness of sins possible for everyone. The Ark was made from acacia wood and was about 4 feet long, 2.5 feet wide, and 2.5 feet tall. It was covered with pure gold inside and out and had a decorative gold trim. There were gold rings on its corners where poles were inserted for carrying the Ark, showing how sacred and carefully it needed to be handled. Inside the Ark, there were 3 important items: a pot of manna, a reminder of God's provision, Aaron's rod, symbolizing leadership, and the stone tablets with the commandments. The Ark traveled with the Israelites from Mount Sinai to Canaan. At one point, it was captured by the Philistines, but after they faced many disasters, they returned it to the Israelites. Later, King Solomon placed it in the most sacred part of his temple, where it was guarded by large cherubim statues. The Ark was lost or hidden after Jerusalem was captured by Nebuchadnezzar, and many have searched for it since then, but it remained undiscovered until recent reports of its possible location. But this wasn't the end of the story. The Ark's journey reflects the spiritual experiences of the Israelites and their key moments with God. It wasn't just a historical object, but a powerful reminder of the relationship between God and his people. The recent belief that the Ark might be in Antarctica has sparked new interest among religious and scientific groups, offering a fresh look at how faith and history are connected through this ancient symbol. With the Ark now unearthed, our journey into its past has just begun. What secrets will we uncover in the chapters to come? The Ark's possible scientific secrets. Over time, when the Ark's location became a mystery, many theories emerged about what it really was and where it might be. Some believed that the ark had incredible powers and was extremely dangerous. The scriptures say that the ark was kept away from the main camp because anyone who touched it could die. This led some to wonder if the ark wasn't just a religious object but perhaps a piece of advanced technology. They thought it might be more like a complex machine than a supernatural artifact. One idea is that the Ark of the Covenant worked like an electrical device known as a capacitor. This device stores and releases electrical energy. The ark was covered in gold inside and out, and gold is a great conductor of electricity. So, maybe the ark could store electricity and discharge it, creating sparks or shocks that people at the time saw as divine power. This might explain the story of Uzzah, who died after touching the ark, possibly due to an electric shock. If we look at the ark this way, it seems like a remarkable piece of technology for its time, able to control electricity in a way that would have been groundbreaking. The ark's design and materials could suggest that it wasn't just a religious symbol but also a powerful tool that gave the Israelites a significant advantage. Its potential to generate fear in their enemies and confirm the power of their God would have been immense. But this isn't where the story ends. Some theories go even further, suggesting the ark was more than just a device. It might have been a way for God to communicate with the Israelites. The Bible says that God would speak from above the ark, between two figures known as cherubim. Some think these cherubim acted like antennas, converting electrical energy into radio waves, with the gold helping to transmit these signals. Others speculate that the ark might have used nuclear energy, possibly containing a substance like uranium. If true, this could explain why the ark was so powerful, as uranium can release huge amounts of energy. One idea even suggests that the ark contained something radioactive that responded to sound waves. When the Israelites marched around Jericho blowing trumpets, this reaction might have caused the city's walls to fall. The priests carrying the ark wore special metal garments, similar to how we use lead vests today to protect against radiation. They also had ropes tied to their legs, so if they died near the ark, others could pull them out safely. There's a story in the book of Samuel where the Philistines captured the ark, expecting it to bring them good fortune. Instead, they were struck by terrible diseases and other problems, which some believe were symptoms of radiation poisoning. But the most surprising part is yet to come. The Philistines, after facing many troubles, decided to return the Ark of the Covenant to the Israelites. They noticed that wherever the ark was kept, bad things seemed to happen. When it was finally returned, the Israelites placed it in a temporary structure called the tabernacle, a portable holy tent made from fabric and decorated with gold. Some believe that the ark was more than just a sacred object. It might have been a powerful and dangerous source of radiation. Always covered, the ark was considered so powerful that people could only interact with it indirectly. Despite warnings, some people couldn't resist the urge to peek inside, which tragically led to the deaths of 70 individuals. One of the many stories about the ark suggests that its final resting place is in Ethiopia. This story comes from a 13th century text called the Kebra Nagast, which traces the Ethiopian royal lineage back to King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, who had a son named Menelik. According to the story, when Menelik visited Jerusalem, Solomon arranged for the ark to be secretly sent back to Ethiopia with him, replacing it with a replica. Once in Ethiopia, Menelik claimed that the ark was a sign of God's favor toward the Ethiopian people, linking Israel's divine history with their own. This tale even ties into the history of Haile Selassie, the Ethiopian ruler from 1892 to 1975, who claimed to be descended from Solomon and Menelik. The Ethiopian constitution explicitly connects its heritage to this ancient biblical lineage. Today, the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Ethiopia is believed to house the ark. However, only one monk is allowed to see it. Not even the leader of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church can view it. In the early 2000s, the church's leader, Bune Paulos, considered showing it to the public but later changed his mind. During World War II, a former professor from the University of London claimed to have seen a replica of the ark, similar to those found in other Ethiopian churches. But this wasn't the only possible location of the ark. The Lemba tribe in South Africa also claims that the ark passed through their land. In the 1940s, a replica was found in a cave in the area, leading to speculation about the ark's journey. Meanwhile, archaeologists in Israel discovered a site at Kiryat Jearim that might have been a shrine for the ark, but solid proof has yet to be found. The Ark's history in Jerusalem is just as fascinating. It was kept in the Grand Temple of Jerusalem, in the most sacred part called the Holy of Holies, for over 300 years, symbolizing the Israelites' covenant with God. But suddenly, in 587 BC, during the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem, the Ark vanished without a trace. Strangely, even though the Babylonians looted the city, they didn't seem to find the Ark. This mysterious disappearance has led to many theories, one of which involves a peculiar reference in the Copper Scroll, part of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Unlike the other scrolls, this one is made of metal and contains instructions that might point to treasures from Solomon's temple, possibly including the Ark itself. Each new theory and discovery about the Ark deepens our understanding of its historical and possibly technological importance, hinting at more secrets to uncover. Jim Barfield, an enthusiastic investigator, strongly believes that the Copper Scroll is not just a story but a detailed guide to finding treasures from Solomon's temple. He thinks that during the Babylonian invasion, these treasures were secretly taken out of the city. Barfield even suggests that the Ark of the Covenant might have been among the hidden items. He refers to the Book of 2 Maccabees, which hints that the prophet Jeremiah might have helped move these treasures, hiding them somewhere under the Temple Mount. Even though many tunnels under the Temple Mount have been explored, none of them showed any signs of being escape routes from the time of the temple. But in 2007, there was a breakthrough. A previously unknown tunnel was found, stretching from the Temple Mount to the Kidron Valley. This discovery led some people to believe that the Ark might have been moved to Qumran, the same place where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. The Copper Scroll lists 64 possible hiding spots around Qumran. One spot describes a location with steps leading down 40 cubits, where a large amount of silver might be hidden. Barfield claims to have found these exact steps. Another spot mentioned in the scroll talks about a well in a courtyard that might contain an incredible 33 tons of gold. But this wasn't the biggest challenge Barfield faced. When he tried to dig at these sites, local authorities refused to give him permission. However, Barfield didn't give up. He came back with a metal detector specifically designed to find gold and silver. As he approached the site, the detector started beeping wildly, suggesting that there were significant amounts of precious metals underground. Barfield's theory didn't stop there. He believed there was a third site, possibly holding even more treasures, including the Ark itself. Using the first two sites as markers, he drew a line that led to a sealed cave on a nearby hill. The entrance seemed intentionally blocked. After testing a sample of the stone used to seal the cave, it was found to be made of man-made mortar from that era. This raised an important question: why would someone go to such lengths to seal a random hill? When Barfield used his metal detector near this sealed cave, it detected even more metal than at Qumran, strengthening his belief that the Ark could be hidden there. But despite all the promising evidence, he still hasn't been given permission to dig. But here's where it gets more complicated. Many historians who have studied the Ark's history agree that if it was ever at Qumran, it's probably not there anymore. Some think the Ark might have been taken away by the Knights Templar. This idea ties into the larger history of the Crusades, a series of intense religious wars started in 1095 by the Roman Catholic Church. These wars, mainly fought in the Near East but also in places like Spain, had a huge impact on both Europe and the Middle East. The Crusades began when Pope Urban II called for military action at the Council of Clermont in France, marking the start of a chaotic and transformative period in history. In a significant event, a speech led to the start of the First Crusade, marking the beginning of a much larger movement. Most historians agree this was the start of the Crusades, but some believe that earlier actions, like the Church's support for certain wars, set the stage even before this. Although many think the Crusades ended in the late 13th century, Morton pointed out that they continued in different forms across Western Europe for many years after. Jonathan Riley Smith, a well-known historian of the Crusades, mentioned that while the Church's support faded by the 17th century, the impact of the Crusades lingered on. Riley Smith also explored the history of the Knights Templar, who were known for their secretive skills in finance and politics. Originally, they were focused on protecting Christian pilgrims traveling to Jerusalem. However, they soon started digging under the Temple Mount, searching for sacred relics like the Ark of the Covenant. The Templars were experts in navigating underground spaces, and recent discoveries suggest they may have used Zedekiah's cave as a hidden defensive location. According to legends, the Templars found the Ark and moved it to their base in France. But here's where things took a darker turn. King Philip of France, heavily in debt to the Templars, plotted with the Pope to bring them down. On October 13, 1307, he declared the Templars outlaws, leading to widespread arrests and harsh punishments. However, the Templars, possibly forewarned, are said to have moved the Ark to Scotland, where they found a supporter in King Robert the Bruce. Despite being excommunicated, Robert and the Sinclair family reportedly helped hide the Ark at Roslin Chapel, a place filled with Templar symbols and designs reminiscent of Solomon's Temple. But that wasn't the end of the story. During World War II, the search for the Ark heated up again, driven by the Nazis' obsession with mystical artifacts. They searched for many legendary items, including the Spear of Destiny and the Holy Grail. After the war, fears about the safety of these relics led President Roosevelt to arrange for the treasures of Roslin Chapel to be moved to a safer location in the Americas. The Ark, according to some, was taken to Nova Scotia, which is also known as New Scotland. Oak Island, famous for its mysterious tunnels and caves, is one possible place where the Ark might be hidden. But other theories suggest it could be in the Vatican's secret archives in Rome or perhaps on Mount Nebo in Jordan. Some myths even claim the Ark could be buried under Ireland's Hill of Tara or beneath the Sphinx in Egypt. But here's the twist: recent rumors and scientific claims hint at a surprising new location, the icy landscapes of Antarctica. This has sparked fresh interest and debate over who controls and owns the Ark now. What do you think of the recent discovery of the Ark of the Covenant in Antarctica? Could it reveal ancient technologies or celestial interventions that might challenge our current understanding of history? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.